Hi, friends. Christopher Hobbs. And imagine if you woke up on Christmas morning and when you opened up your Christmas present, you got a package like this. It's got a nice red bow on it. And you would probably think, well, what is that? Who's sending me a bunch of dried mushrooms? Well, this is turkey tails, Trametes versicolor. And I bought this in a Chinese herb shop. So they are very important in Chinese medicine. And even Western herbalists use them a lot. And they are the most widely studied. Here's some close ups of them. They're kind of like overlapping scales, they're fairly thin. You can find them worldwide on decaying logs. Their job is really to recycle the wood and release the carbon, release the energy for other organisms in the forest. So they're extremely important in the health of the forest. And you can see they have zones or bands on them. That's why they call it turkey tail. I mean, you have to stretch your imagination a little bit. The fresh ones, I think, maybe look a little bit more turkey tail-like. But you can see why they call them turkey tail. And the Latin name Trametes versicolor, they come in all different colors: beige, tan, yellow, I've seen them, blue. So they call them versicolor because depending on the substrate, the log they're growing on, they could be different colors. So turkey tail is a very important medicinal in that it is the highest mushroom out there in beta-glucan. Beta-glucans are very tough polymers that are highly branched in the cell walls of all mushroom, of all fungi. And the beta-glucans are really the most widely around the world studied compound or component of mushrooms that activate our immune response very, very strongly and safely. And they seem to have the ability to increase some aspects of our immune response against pathogens, against cancer cells. In fact, this turkey tail has more clinical trials on it for use in as an adjuvant treatment in cancer therapy of any substance out there, any mushroom certainly, but any other substance, any natural substance that isn't unsafe, has a very incredible safety record. Also has a lot of nutrition. Believe it or not, turkey tail has a lot of minerals, trace minerals, proteins, even vitamins, especially if they're harvested fresh. These are probably pretty old, sitting around a Chinese herb shop, but they have tremendous nutrition too. It's just locked up in this format of a fairly dry, hard cell wall. The mycelium the cell walls are very tough. They contain crab shell material and called chitin. So that's a very, very tough covering to the cell wall and interwoven with beta-glucans, which are also highly branched and very strong and flexible. And they has to be because the mycelium of the turkey tail are penetrating into wood, very tough, and other substrates, the soil. And so it really, the cell walls have to be tough. But it turns out when you steam the turkey tails, you break them down at a high temperature and powder them, grind them up to a fine powder, then our body can utilize those beta-glucans and the chitin to activate our immune response strongly. And again, turkey tails, people ask me, well, what medicinal mushroom should I start with? I want to just protect my body. I want a general supplement that's going to support my immune response, calm down maybe any overinflammation. Well, turkey tail and reishi are really the way to go to start with because these are the highest in beta-glucan. They've been used for centuries and centuries and centuries for protecting us humans against infections and cancer. And again, the clinical trials are there. You can get turkey tail in different forms. You can actually buy logs and grow your own. You can buy organically grown fruiting bodies. You can get mycelium products. The mycelium products are fine as long as they don't contain a really high concentration of starch because they're sometimes grown on brown rice. So buy from a reputable company that is guaranteeing beta-glucans. That's one way to ensure that you are getting the immunoactive beta-glucans. When I always recommend starting with either turkey tail or reishi, or you can use a 5 blend or 10 blend, something like that, that has a blend of maybe lion's mane and chaga and some of the other species along with turkey tail and lion's mane, but again is guaranteed to have 15% or so of beta-glucans and not excessive amounts of starch. So again, turkey tail, one of the most important immunosupporting herbs out there. It has the clinical research for use in clinical trials, for protecting against cancer, for reducing the side effects of chemotherapy, like reducing fatigue, increasing the strength of our immune response. It's well known that when you're taking chemotherapy or standard or even surgery, it can really have a devastating effect on your immune response. So it makes perfect sense to take a supplement like turkey tail or reishi while you're using chemotherapy if you choose that route. If you choose an all-natural route, then by all means really go for the turkey tail and the reishi. And again, out there with all these infections circulating around, I like to keep my immune system tuned up. And our immune system is just central really to our health. It's connected to our nervous system, our hormonal system, and it's very susceptible to stress. So if we're under stress, internal or external stress, that can really affect the really strong activity and response of our immunity. So again, give a good turkey tail powder a try. It's really one of my favorites. I take it frequently all throughout the winter, typically, or even recently. I use reishi and turkey tail along with matcha in the morning. That's my morning drink. And it really has stood me in good stead. I just got over COVID, but it really wasn't a big deal. It was like one day of feeling like I was sick, and then kind of a recovery over a week period. So I was very happy the way my immune system responded to COVID. Of course, I tried to avoid it now for 2.5 years, but I'm almost glad that it's over with. I don't have to worry as much, and I should have really good immunity. But I'm going to continue to take my turkey tail and reishi. So thanks for watching. I hope you give it a try, maybe grow some, obtain some pruning bodies or some powders, and give it a try. I think you'll find that it has amazing benefits. So thanks for watching.